Greetings, everyone. This is me again, Zara, ex-Muslim, ex-Shia. So, with due respect to the Shias, to the Sunnis, beliefs and all, I want to bring peace, help me, because there's been conflicts which go into hatred, which then go into abuse, curses, right, against each other. And also saying that people are crazy, things like that, to say anything against the imams. Even the Shias do this. So I really don't agree with that. So I may be crazy or what, but with due respect to even the Ismailis, see, the Ismaili Imam is absolutely adorable, respectable, and I highly respect him. But it hurts me to see what I found in the Quran ayats. They're very good people, the Ismailis, very organized and so organized. It's like the Catholic Church. The Catholics, when they commit a sin, they go confess to the priest. In their Jamaat Khanas, the Ismailis also may go and confess. So it's organized, and so people, the Ismailis, it's so well protected, and what you call it, like they can't commit crimes being Ismailis, right? They can't rape or not even small crimes like stealing a little amount of money or something, because Hazir Imam is there and he sees to it that his Jamaat is the elders or who, sorry, the ones, the priestly type ones, they take care of all this. And they go to, the Ismailis go to the Jamaat. So this is how it's organized. Like I can't explain properly now. I had a headache, and also please bear with me. This is my problem. And even in this problem, I try my best here. It's such a, I have been so shocked. My religion, I felt, was so great, thought was great, believed that was great, but then I started to question because there's a split in the Shia sect even. So Shia fiqh school of thought. So which Imam is true and all this. Anyway, so this is my favorite topic on the Quran ayats, and I've tried to understand, but I can't find that help on the Quran, on such things, such questions that have come up from the Quran ayats. Like on every Quran ayat, if my Imam, I felt, should be present to help me, or his, high moments believers who are Quran experts and all, who can help me in these ayats, about these ayats. I did not find any Shia even to give me that help. I did not find any website of from the Shia. Ismailis also, like the Imam. So this is the only thing that I now kind of feel scared about. Although he's not strict or anything, but the Imam is not strict. He's very lenient and very peaceful, progressive. But the thing is that I feel that I should have gotten some help from him in these verses, because he's the one God has sent for us. And Ali is with the Quran, and Quran is with Ali, we were told. So Hazir Imam has this responsibility, duty from Allah to help me on this. I'm not saying I'm important or anything. just a believer who has doubts and problems with the Quran ayats, which I have been showing. So, any smiley can help me on this, I would be really appreciative, right? So, with due respect. Now, another verse I found against this verse, Surah Yunus, ayat 10, verse ayat 35. So this is what I will be talking about, discussing, showing you here. For now, there's no discussion with another person, but just first showing you what I found, sharing that, and then you see. There are people who come and say, who are you to decide, or something like this, and how can we judge the Quran ayats? But we need to judge the Quran ayats, as God has said here, Allah, in Surah 10, ayat 35, this also. Then what is wrong with you? How do you judge the last part of the ayat? Right? To the polytheists who take partners as guides. Okay, this is the way Allah has put it in this Quran ayat, that say, are there of your partners any who guides to the truth? Say, Allah guides to the truth. Allah guides to the truth. So is He who guides to the truth, meaning is Allah who guides to the truth more worthy to be followed? So Allah is more worthy to be followed, right? Or He who guides not, unless He is guided. So not only that, that someone who is guided should guide, he shouldn't guide because you should directly follow Allah. This ayat is saying this. Even though it asks the polytheists, are there any of your partners or disbelievers who guides to the truth? In this way, okay, it's say, I don't know how to put this. You see, do you see something here? Do you see something wrong here? Generally asking them, are there any of your partners? Okay, maybe there are none, maybe there are who say they guide to the truth. Okay, they guide you to the truth. So if that is the case, then it can't be right for Allah, right? No human being should be guiding. You should not be following, according to this verse, you should not be following a human being whom even, but Allah doesn't say like the one I have chosen for you to guide to the truth, right? Here, against these disbelievers and polytheists. So it's like generally put first, say, are there any of, and the Quran is so poorly put, brought down. The Quran, the book now, I'm not talking about how it came down, but just now in the book, the ayats, the way they are written, so poorly written. Who will ask such a question? I mean, in this way, say, are there any of your partners who guides to the truth? First of all, maybe there are, but where's their evidence? It's missing here in this Quran. Their answer Allah should give their answer here. That's the problem with this Quran, that the other side, it's only Allah speaking and saying, I brought the truth. But if you're asking the polytheists, whoever you're asking, even the judges, they give a chance in the court to the criminals and all this. The trial goes on. So there should be from the other side evidence coming, and it should have been a conversation, a discussion, which isn't. This Quran isn't a conversation, a discussion recorded between the polytheists, the disbelievers. Not much, like at times, like somewhere else in the ayat, in the surah, it's they say that Allah, if Allah didn't permit us, the polytheists say, we would not have followed our forefathers and would not have made unlawful things which Allah didn't want us to make unlawful. But here, you see, in this case, there's no answer by them, the ones who Allah asks. And He's even asking them, how do you judge? So it's better to hear in this surah, Surah Yunus, after this ayat or before, after this ayat, should have brought about an answer by the polytheists, whoever Allah is asking. Most probably the polytheists, disbelievers. Because having partners would mean that you are a polytheist. Right here in this Quran ayat. Say, are there any of your partners, any who guides to the truth? Say, Allah guides to the truth. So, is He, i.e. Allah, who guides to the truth, more worthy to be followed? Okay, more worthy to be followed? Look at the way Allah has put it, I don't understand. More worthy. Or, so it means, what it means is more worthy to be followed is that only Allah should be followed. And Allah is guiding you and Allah should be followed. Right? No human being chosen, nothing like this. But then, or he who guides not, unless he is guided. So this means, this ayat actually, this part means, Allah would never make a human being guide you and tell you to follow that human being whom He has chosen or made to guide you. Then what is wrong with you? How do you judge? Now, a little bit on judgment. He's asking them, how do you judge? Yeah. So how are they going to judge? How do you become a judge? Right? That's how they're going to judge. And the answer they're going to give to Allah. Judges must know how to judge this through reasoning, through logic, through whatever Allah has asked them, like, okay, right here in this ayat, guides to the truth more worthy to be followed. So you say, okay, no one is worthy to be followed, no human being is worthy to be followed, to guide, because they are being guided, even those who say they are guided by Allah. Look, here Allah has like made so many blunders, right? Because when you compare it with other ayats also. So here, Allah has blunders. You'll see the blunders later on when I compare it with another ayat also. Here, Allah is like, it's like you don't follow any human being who is guided by Allah, even chosen by Allah. Allah should never say this. Allah will never say it. It's implied. I mean, explaining the Quran ayat, right? Allah guides to the truth, so is He, meaning Allah, who guides to the truth more worthy to be followed, or he who guides not, unless he is guided? Unless he is guided. So this would mean even those who are guided cannot guide to the truth. Allah is more worthy to be followed for guidance. Who guides to the truth? Allah guides to the truth, and Allah is more worthy to be followed. To the disbelieving polytheists, He has given this reason. And moreover, He said, then what is wrong? What is the matter with you? Like, how do you judge, right? So He's even brought about the question of like judging, like use your reason, right? He's giving His reason. Who is more worthy? So we can use our reason here. Safely, not our opinion, logic, using reason in a logical way, not in an opinionated way. Okay, using or judging not in an opinionated way, but in a logical way. You get it? Meaning, unless he is guided by Allah and no one else, right? And no one else can guide. Do you get this ayat? Please see this ayat. And most of them follow nothing but assumption. This also. So they just follow their opinions, they're just assuming, speculation and all. Same surah, ayat 36, Surah Yunus, ayat 36. Now we come here. So by this we got it that Allah says Allah is more worthy to be followed than the one who is guided even, who guides not unless he is guided, right? He's guided by Allah. So Allah is more worthy to be followed than even the one who is guided but needs guidance by Allah. So then how come in Surah 7, ayat 179, and we have certainly created for her. Oh, sorry. No. This is the extra bonus that I did prior in my previous live streams some years ago, and then I corrected myself thinking I'm wrong about this ayat, but I think again I've brought it here. But it's this one, Surah Araf, Surah 7, ayat 181. And among those who created is a community which guides by truth and thereby establishes justice. And who is that community? In the Sunni footnote of Sahih International, Muslims or no, it says the followers of Prophet Muhammad, non-Shia, right? This is, and among those who we created, Allah says, is a community which guides by truth. Oh my goodness. So remember I was doing this verse previously also against showing you through Surah 6 ayat 90. Those were the people God guided. Prophet, follow the guidance they received. Say, oh, so this is not important. Say, I ask of no reward. But this point, follow the guidance they received. Yani follow follow now the guidance that they have received by Allah, right? So isn't there a contradiction here against Surah Yunus, ayat 35? And then giving you, so now I found another ayat against Surah 10, ayat 35. And among those we created is a community which guides by truth and thereby establishes justice. So I've been into also the Ismaili Imam a little bit. Like I can't find a Quran. I can't find an Ismaili who would explain this to me. And also, not that I want an Ismaili to leave Ismaili Islam. Keep your Ismaili Islam. But I'm like so shocked that I never said a word to this Imam, not even inside my heart, against him as a 12 Shia. I never cursed, abused, never said like he's, never. Like, okay, meaning that before I went insane or, sometimes, now, recently, I was told that this and that, whatnot in my childhood. But I just kept quiet, listened to it, and I was just being told, like, okay. So they followed. I found that out that they somehow, with the Queen of England at that time, in the British colonial time when the Imam was in India. Whatever it was, I never, bus, I just, it was like I was being told it was like it wasn't like a hatred filled information, no. It was just that, these are the Ismailis. What happens is they've made how they follow Imam Ali and what's about Imam in their Ginan, what, like, there's some Hinduism and how they take Imam Ali and what else was it? And that they've so we were Agha Khanis before, but we left them perhaps in India because of this. And the Imam was in the British colonial time. He joined the Britishers. Okay, so this is all. I'm not going to go into detail about this. Recently, I went. So, but okay. So later on, when I had the chance and it was convenient for me, thank God. Facebook, social media. So Ismaili pages, right? And I've known some Ismailis, very good Ismailis. Peaceful, they're like very cool and all. Not like us 12-ish, very passionate sometimes, like Matam and all this. They don't do that. And so I got a chance to see, I knew that their Jamaat, it's very private and they have their own, they keep their, like we used to say, keep our religion personal. You don't even have to answer to a Muslim if they say, how many rosas have you kept or something, or are you performing your namaz, your salah? That's a very personal matter. And if you miss or don't give out your guna, your things to them, another Muslim, because Allah can forgive, but the fellow, and also to keep our religion personal. This about the namaz, salah, a very personal matter. This kind of a thing. The rest is that we, in what we do on the loudspeakers, Zikr Hussain, Azadari Hussain during Muharram, Safar, and his women folk, and the Imam Zainul Abidin afterwards. That's something that's a sunnat. Or even loving them is actually not a sunnat. It's from Surah 42, Ayat 23. It's Ajre Risalat, whether that's an obligation by Allah, command, to love those near of kin, but the most in the Sunni Muslim sources, Islamic sources, the ayat is read in context to the near of kin of Prophet Muhammad. So this also, some Sunnis agree that it's some say no. That's what I heard. I still cannot get this in my mind. I've tried to remember read the tafsir from the Sunni side. Still, I don't know really. Some said that some maybe old the Sunni scholars did say that Surah 42 ayat 23 is for the near of kin of Prophet Muhammad. This is specifically Ali, Fatima, Hassan, Hussein, and so some said this. I heard. Sorry for the. Oh God, I need to take some pauses here because this is very heavy for my heart, and I'm not feeling well and aging so very quickly and deteriorating and depreciating. My mind also, I can't talk properly. My confidence is gone. So, and then we have this Sunni Shia hatred, so much hatred. And then we have, now I was just on the live stream of Sabir Salim, late, watching it as a video. So, although he says no abuse, nothing, but that lady, some mad, he has said some mad lady has said something against Sayyida Fatima, and she's our mother, we need to defend her. But that she's mad. So I thought of myself also because I've said that about Fadak, that baby. You see, Prophet Muhammad gave this Fadak, Jews gave it to him and he gave it to be Fatima Zahra. And I've said things against Fatima Zahra. But I haven't spoken to Sabir Salim, even though he's now, I can see his WhatsApp number here. He's given on his channel, on this in this live stream, book review live, examining the Ismaili Imams, Ismaili Shia, Sabir Salim. And there was another Ismaili telling me, I was like, can I discuss this? No. So I was, no. So but what I'm thinking is that, if I could help the Ismaili Imam could help me, because this it doesn't seem right. It's actually false. It comes out false. If you take this Quran ayat, like if there are much contradictions in the Quran, where is it? Surah Nisa at 82 or which one? Reflect on the Quran ayat. So I find many contradictions. I found many. And poorly written, and also of Surah Tahrim against Prophet Muhammad. I couldn't find any God's wisdom in that. Or in Surah Azab ayat 37. Or poorly written verse in Surah Nur ayat 33. Things like that, like if these Fatayatakum, slave girls, whoever they are, Fatayatakum, slave girls or maids, are not compelled if they want to remain chaste also. But then if they don't want to remain chaste, but then in another ayat, or in that same ayat above, keep chaste until Allah provides for you. So there's, okay, for that you would say you take this generally the ayat, in the ayat that's first written, keep chaste. And so the keeping chaste is important. However, Allah has put it in Surah Nur ayat 33 about the Fatayatakum. It's no way there is prostitution allowed in Islam. You have to keep chaste. That's the general statement of Allah. An order of Allah, command of Allah. But very poorly written, I felt, in Surah Nur ayat 33. You may disagree with me on that. That's my opinion. Oh, my opinion on my finding on this is Okay, now Surah, a little bit on Surah Nur ayat. It has to come out again. You see, like Surah Nur ayat 33. I still disagree, but you may say this is my opinion, and I may contemplate on that. all the slave girls also have to remain chaste, right? The Fatayatakum in Surah Nisa ayat also 25. And those who cannot afford marriage should keep themselves chaste until Allah enriches them out of His grace. And those of your slaves who wish to enter the contract of Kitaba. So, those who cannot afford marriage should keep themselves chaste. Who cannot afford marriage, those believers who cannot afford marriage, not the slave girls, maybe, I don't know, until Allah enriches them out of His grace. Okay, maybe including the slave girls. Let's go with you. And those of your slaves, who wish to enter the contract of kitaba, emancipation by paying money, contract kitaba with them. If you recognize some good in them, and give them out of the wealth of Allah that He has given to you. And do not compel your maids to prostitution. These are fatayatukum. They could be slave girls or they could be maids. If they wish to observe chastity. And also see, do not force your maids to prostitution. This is not rape. If they are not like no. How shall I put it? An example to you. Okay, so forget the rape thing. Example. And do not compel your maids to prostitution, meaning force your maids into prostitution. If they wish to observe chastity. But if they don't wish to observe chastity, then it's not even forced prostitution. Then you can prostitute them in order that they may seek the temporary benefit of the worldly life. If one compels them, then after that being compelled, Allah is most forgiving, very merciful. And how can even Allah be most forgiving or forgiving, all forgiving to those who are compelled? Under compulsion, there's no guna. There's no the burden of doesn't fall on you, right? The burden of punishment. There's no punishment on you. Merciful, I can understand, but forgiving for them, I cannot understand. So that's why it's like, does this mean that those who are forced into prostitution, Allah will forgive them? And Allah is forgiving, merciful. Because I could not fathom, right, when I was in my O-levels or after O-levels, the English I'd learned, so in English translation, but seeing the Arabic also is like this. Like, how can you forgive someone who is compelled into something? You see, it's like duress. So I've studied in London law of duress is like you are under threat. Let's say someone compels me, right, to prostitution. They must force me. There could be circumstances where they're threatening me. They've made me poor. They've killed my father, my brother's male, right? And my mother, they said they're going to hurt her, torture her if I don't become a prostitute and give them money and all this, right? with my proceedings I get, the money I get from prostitution. Duress in English, why does that? In English law. Duress involves illegitimate threats. The common law long allowed a claim if duress was of a physical nature, so long as the threat is just one of the reasons a person enters an agreement, even not the main reason, the agreement may be avoided. Duress in English law is complete common law defense, operating in favor of those who commit crimes because they are forced or compelled to do so by the circumstances or the threats of another. Once this is established also, that there has been a threat or the circumstances compel them, then there would be no punishment against them. The doctrine arises not only in criminal law but also in civil law. Can we say that they will be forgiven? The punishment? Yeah, so think about it. They don't deserve punishment, actually. We won't say that they will be forgiven a punishment. They will be forgiven, but that they don't even deserve the punishment. We should say that. Sorry, there's some work going on in. So if you can hear the background sound, I apologize for that. Duress involves the illegitimate threats, right? And I will come back later also on this. The common law long allowed a claim if duress was of a physical nature, so long as threat is just one of the reasons a person enters an agreement, even if not the main reason. The agreement may be avoided. In Barton versus Armstrong, Mr. Armstrong tried to strong arm Mr. Barton into paying him a large golden parachute to exit a business by getting his goons to make death threats to Barton's family, even though Barton was tough and would have probably done the payout regardless. He could avoid the agreement. So he could avoid the agreement. Like, threat is such that you cannot avoid it, right? Barton and Armstrong case precedents. So if you can avoid it, the threat is not something, but duress is that you can't avoid it. So in this case, if they're compelled and you can't avoid this, forgiving, Allah is forgiving for them, or they don't even deserve any punishment or any forgiveness even. Can we say it like this? So this part I didn't agree to. And also reading the first ayat that it has laws. This Quran, this surah, not even Quran, this surah is clear about some things like punishments and all, very clear on that. But it's not even clear on this. What punishment will these people get here in this surah? I know the Quran has punishments for mischief makers who wage a war against Allah and the Messenger, and so, cut off their hands on the opposite sides, or maybe do this, exile them. But the thing is that this surah doesn't have the punishment mentioned here against those who made girls into prostitution for temporary benefit of worldly life. When the maids do not wish, or do not want to, when they want to observe chastity, right? So this I felt In my opinion, it was wrong. Okay, there, here, in my opinion. Okay, I can say that safely, right? I don't agree to this ayat, how it's put. And so, again, back here, back to the Surah 10, ayat 35. Say, please see this. Now, I was told there's no way the Imam, Hazir Imam also, he feels Islam is true and he's not going to budge from that. Prophet Muhammad, he's from the progeny of Prophet Muhammad. Islam is true and he, he believes in this. So, but Surah Nur ayat suggests, Surah Nur ayat, another Surah Nur ayat 55. No, it says that Allah promises, which implies that a new religion can come up other than Islam. But he's not going to. He's very adamant about this religion being true. I asked an Ismaili, if I may say that. I was told he's very adamant that this religion is true. And I'm like shocked to the bones, if I may say, my personal feelings here share with you. Oh God, there's this. Okay, I think I don't know for how long this work outside will go on. So I have to go now. Think about it, but he's very adamant. But think about these two. Now the new ayat on against Surah 10, ayat 35, I found, which contradicts Surah 10, ayat 35. And among those we created is a community which guides by truth and thereby establishes justice. So please think about this. There's a lot of noise. I think I should go. And then I will continue with this later on. Thank you so much.